Welcome back to another episode of Action Talk. I'm your host, Mark Saavedra, and before I dive into my division winners, Super Bowl picks, and even a future parlay, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Action Talk Bets, and if you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe below. So, first division that stood out to me when I was looking at these when they first came out was the AFC East. I just thought, Bills have that division on lock. But then the Patriots went on and had an incredible offseason and free agency period, so I was like, all right. Minus 150 sounds good, but Patriots look really freaking good too. Bills or Patriots to end up in first or second place plus 130. To me, that's the safest bet out of all the divisions. If you're going to go with a bet, to me, that's the safest because I haven't liked Tua, I haven't trusted Tua since college. So now in Miami with two offensive coordinators, I most certainly don't trust him. And the Jets are the Jets. Great, you got Salah. You hope you got your quarterback of the future. I'm not buying into all that nonsense. Taking the Bills and Patriots plus 130. I really think that the Bills did a good job this offseason of addressing their defensive needs. They went out and drafted Gregory Rousseau in the first round, and they got Carlos Basham in the second round, two edge defenders. Hopefully between them and Vernon Butler, they're able to shore up that rush defense, which was god-awful last season. And although he's not a burner or superstar, I do like the fact that the Bills went out and at least brought in Matt Breida, another running back. They struggled last year to run the ball. Josh Allen accounted for half of their touchdowns, so they definitely need some help on the ground on both sides of the ball, but I think that at least defensively they addressed their needs. Hopefully Matt Breida and Zach Moss and Devin Singletary can figure it out. I chuckle because, my God, that's not ideal, but I trust that the Bills can, worst case, end up in second place. Even if something terrible happens and Mitch Trubisky is starting, I still think Bills can end up in second place. Moving on to the AFC North. Last year I told you guys to take the Steelers at plus 350, and man, that was amazing. I mean, as a fan, that was just truly remarkable to just have such a homer pick, be so juicy, and be so right. I mean, that was, you can't put into words, although I just attempted to. But with the AFC North, I'm not going to go with an outright winner because I do like the Browns to win this division. But as a Steeler fan, I cannot bet against my own team. I just don't do that. If I see value against my team, I just won't bet that. So in this case, instead of betting on the Browns to just win it outright, I'm going to take Browns or Steelers to end up in first or second, plus 400. I really don't think the Ravens have a shot at getting first or second here. They could be that third playoff team in the division like the Browns were last year. But I just think that, losing Matt Judon, losing Orlando Brown, those are two huge pieces on your defense. And when you replace Orlando Brown with Alejandro Villanueva, it's less than ideal. So I don't trust this offense. I think they're going to take a step back, but I do think they will be a good football team. The Ravens are always a good football team, and with Harbaugh there, they will remain a good football team. So I'm not losing my faith in them to make the playoffs or, like I said, even be a decent football team, but definitely don't have them ending up in first or second place in this division with those two juggernauts ahead of them. Going to the AFC South now, I don't love this pick, but I got to go with the Tennessee Titans. I was originally on the Colts, the reuniting of Frank Reich and Carson Wentz. I didn't buy so much into that, but I was like, okay, this should help his confidence a little bit. He's going to a team with a great offensive line and a great all-around team, honestly. The Colts have a great all-around team. Then he gets hurt. Then Quentin Nelson goes down. And it's like, what do you even do in that situation? I can't trust Carson Wentz. As much as I love the Colts and I love what they've got going on there, I can't go against the fantasy team that is the Tennessee Titans. I mean, you got Julio Jones, Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Ryan Tannehill. I mean, my goodness. They're just next level. And with such an elite running back, I think that obviously they're going to control the pace of the game like they have been the past couple seasons. But that rough defense they had last season, with this offense, I don't think they got to worry about it. They're going to control the pace of play very well. They're going to score whenever they want. On third and long, you got Julio and A.J. to go to. So I think the Titans have a good shot at winning this division. Don't love this pick, but I got to go with it just because Carson Wentz is already showing that he cannot remain healthy for a full season. Going on to the AFC West now, probably the chalkiest pick on the board is to take the Chiefs at minus 275. And for being such a good team with such a great quarterback, great head coach, back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, I don't see why they're only minus 275. I'm not saying I'm laying it. I never will lay minus 275, but it's interesting. It's got to make you think a little bit. So, enough of that. I need more juice. Like I said, I'm not laying minus 275. I'm looking for plus money bets when I'm doing these futures because I'm not going to wait, 20 weeks for a minus 150, 200, whatever. So, going with the Chiefs and Chargers, either team to end up in first or second like I've been doing. I just think these are safe bets, more value, and man, I think Herbert's an absolute stud. I think he's going to show this year that he is a top 10 quarterback. If you would have said that last year, people might think you're crazy because he was a rookie, but I think they went out and did what they needed to do. They got Corey Linsley, one of the best centers in the NFL. They got Rashawn Slater in the draft, so they shored up their offensive line and made sure that they're going to be able to protect their quarterback of the future. And they got corner Asante Samuel in the draft, Asante Samuel Jr., and they retained Michael Davis, their number one corner. So I think that although they lost Melvin Ingram, thank you very much, this defense is going to be just fine. And I think with Herbert, this good receivers on the outside. He's got Mike Williams in a huge proven year for him. Got Keenan Allen, good running back group. I think they have the potential to win 10 games at least. And I would say with the Broncos and Raiders in this division, they have a very good shot at ending up in second place here. I think Drew Lock will take a step in the right direction this season. He's not going to make a Josh Allen leap. I'm very precise in my wording there, leap versus step. I think Drew Lock might look better than he did last year, but he's not going to get them into second place in this division. And John Gruden by week 4 is going to fire, cut, and just get rid of everyone. That guy's got commitment issues, so I'll never bet on him. Moving over to the NFC, I could not believe this pick when I saw it. I mean, I saw it, I saw the odds, and I was like, slamming it. Forget my first or second nonsense. No safety here. All in on the Washington football team. Plus 250. Are you kidding me? I mean, we saw what they did last season, and with Alex Smith and Taylor Heinicke putting up a great fight against the Super Bowl champs in the playoffs. So when you bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick, a veteran who, he's not elite, he's not an amazing quarterback, but last year in crunch time, he did pretty well closing the games for Tua and coming in those big moments, having his head ripped off and still throwing a dime. I mean, so I like Fitzpatrick. I love Curtis Samuel. They brought him in as well. They brought in William Jackson, Eric Flowers, and Adam Humphries for another receiving option for Fitzpatrick. So I think they had a really good offseason. With that being said, Cowboys had a bottom 5 defense in the NFL last year. Zeke didn't even rush for 1,000 yards. Guy barely looked like a professional athlete. I don't think Mike McCarthy is a very good head coach. And yeah, I mean, just all these things in mind, I can't bet on this team. I don't like anything about the Cowboys, really. And maybe I'm just biased a little bit. I am wearing a Steelers shirt. But I just don't think they have anything that they need to win this division. I'm sorry. Obviously, I don't believe in the New York Giants either. Definitely would never take them. And the Eagles, hey, they might have a chance of being better than the Cowboys this year. I don't know. Maybe that's a stretch. Probably a really hot take, but don't trust them either. So moving on to the NFC North. Taking the Packers at minus 145. I mean, to me, that's absolutely certain. Love that pick. I know I just said a couple minutes ago I'm looking for these plus money picks when I'm doing these futures and whatnot. But to me, this is just an absolute lock. We've got Aaron Rodgers in the center. This team's gone to back-to-back NFC championships. It's a great team. Matt LaFleur has been doing pretty good with this team. I didn't like him at first, but you can't deny the guy. So I think that the Packers are going to win this division. And if I had to bet on a team to get second place, I'd have to say the Minnesota Vikings. They're a really good team. I love Coach Zimmer. I have for a couple years now. He's really fiery, knows how to just always put out the best team. Doesn't matter who's injured, who's missing. Guy always is able to compete no matter who's on the field. So I love Mike Zimmer. If you want to sprinkle that, I can't blame you on Packers and Vikings to end up first and second. I can't believe with me doing like 5 of these, I didn't even think about that. But I definitely will be locking that in after I'm done recording this episode. But for now, Packers minus 145. Can't go against Aaron Rodgers. In the NFC South, I'm going in a little bit different direction here. Instead of either team to end up in first or second, I'm going to be taking NFC South results of first place Buccaneers, second place Falcons. That will pay out plus 500. I mean, my goodness. That to me is just, it warms my heart. I look at the value, and when I look at this division, the Saints lost Trey Hendrickson, their best edge rusher. Let's just say that. I'm not going to say Cam Jordan's still there, so he's pretty legit. They lost Trey Hendrickson. Obviously, they lost Drew Brees. You lost Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook, and these guys aren't superstars. These are old skill players, but You lost them. I mean, how are you replacing them? I mean, I don't think they did a good job in replacing anyone that is gone. So I really don't like the Saints this year at all. I really am hoping for them to crumble, actually. I really, really hope they fail. Um, so I know that sounds terrible, but sorry, I really don't like the Saints. So yeah, I think Arthur Smith is going to get this team going in the right direction. I think anyone is an upgrade from Dan Quinn, who started off 0-5 last year. So I think the Falcons have a really good shot at getting second place in this division. Um, the Panthers, I can't trust Sam Darnold. I mean, yeah, I'm sure we want to blame Adam Gase for all that nonsense, but I just can't trust him at the end of the day. So I'm not going to bet on the Panthers to get second place in the division. I love Matt Ryan. They lost Julio Jones, obviously, but Calvin Ridley's a stud. They brought in Kyle Pitts in the draft. I just think they have a very good shot at getting second place in this division. I think the Bucs are the clear-cut winner of this division. But, man, for plus 500, it was too juicy for me to not take. I'm going to end it with probably the hardest division to bet on, in my opinion, at least, the NFC West. I mean, it just made my head spin. I don't even know which way to go. At first, I was on the Rams winning the division. Then I was on the Niners. And as I've just sat on that, I realized, man, the 49ers had a lot of injuries last year. They drafted their quarterback of the future. They drafted a guard in the second round to help shore up that offensive line. So they're looking pretty good. And although they lost Matt Breida, like I mentioned earlier, they got Trey Sermon from Ohio State. And, I mean, any running back looks good in this Shanahan system. So I think he'll look good. I think this offense is going to go back to what we saw the year prior. And now at least you don't even have to worry about a quarterback, because worst case scenario, if Jimmy Garoppolo goes and does Jimmy Garoppolo things and gets hurt, you got Trey Lance, who people are already comparing to Patrick Mahomes. I think that's ridiculous. Kid can be an absolute stud. Hell, he can win Rookie of the Year this season. Hell, even if he wins MVP, great for him. But let's slow our roll a little bit, all right? Like, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. So for this one, NFC West, I'm taking first place 49ers, second place Rams, third place Cardinals, fourth place Seahawks. That is my division parlay for this season. That pays out 14-1. Man, that is juicy. God, I just can't believe it. Every time I look at it, I'm like, God, that is so juicy. I love Russell Wilson. If you guys watched the Future episode last year, I picked him to be my MVP. Love Russ, but I don't think they did a good enough job this offseason in addressing the holes in that O-line and addressing team needs. So I really think that defense is still going to be bad. I think Russ is still going to be running around a lot and avoiding hits. So I think they're really going to crumble this year. And I really don't like the Cardinals, but I just have to buy in this year for them to get at least third place. Last year I thought they were going to get fourth. I don't like Kingsbury too much. I'm not a big Kyler Murray fan. But I just think that there's no way that they do better than the 49ers or Rams, who have elite head coaches and absolutely stacked teams on both sides of the ball. So I just think those two juggernauts of the 49ers and the Rams are the locks to win first and second. And I personally am a Shanahan fan, so I'm going with the 49ers. And like I said, they just have so many guys coming back who were injured last season. They went and had a good draft. I like the 49ers to win this division, so I'm locking that in, or I already locked that in, at plus 1,400. So now we got all division winners. Now it's time to set the Super Bowl matchup. So representing the AFC, I've got none other than the Pittsburgh Steelers at 22-1. My goodness, I love that value. Didn't touch it because I thought there was odds for them that are far juicier. I'll get to that in just a second. But to represent the NFC, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can't imagine any team taking them down. Maybe Aaron Rodgers has the best shot because he's got this last year, this last little hoorah, the last dance. This is not a last dance. You're not Michael Jordan. Tampa Bay is winning this division. They're going to the Super Bowl. And I even bet on them to go 20-0 and win the Super Bowl. So I set myself up nicely. The season goes the way I want. I have a nice little hedge. So I bet on them to go 20-0 and win the Super Bowl. And then I bet on the Steelers to win the Super Bowl 45-1. When I saw that number, I slammed it. I parlayed it. I slammed it. I slammed it again. I threw in another parlay. I went nuts when I saw that 45-1. We got the one player we wanted this offseason, Najee Harris. We shored up that offensive line, which everyone said was trash last year, but they're still saying it's trash this year, even though it's all new faces. Ben is in his second year removed from Tommy John. He's going to light it up this year. He did very well last year. We just had no run game, had to throw the ball 50 times a game. So, man, that Steelers defense also is going to get healthier. We got Bobby Spillane and Devin Bush. We just brought in Joe Schobert. Oh, my God. This is 45-1, locking it in, slamming it. If you don't like it, I don't blame you. But I'm a homer. I'm a huge Steeler fan. And I didn't bet on them to win it last year. I really didn't think they had a good shot. But this year, I'm all in at 45-1. Quick little thing, just because I realized I said that I hedged my bet with 20-0 Super Bowl bet and the Steelers bet. Not a good hedge. In case you were considering hedging at all, not a good hedge. Just hoping the Bucs can go 20-0, make it to the Super Bowl against the Steelers, and either way I make money. That's the way I'm looking at the hedge. But that's the way I got this season going. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Action Talk. And like I said earlier, please be sure to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Action Talk Bets, because that's where we'll be giving daily plays, whether it's the NFL preseason, NFL when it's finally here, NBA, MLB, whatever it is. Be sure to check us out and be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video.